The Obubuto trade station floated above Earth like a lantern in the night. Inside, merchants from 100 worlds set up stalls, diplomats traded careful words, and travelers stared at wonders never seen at home. Somewhere between the smell of spiced nebula fruit and the hum of translation fields, a young human mechanic named Leo Turner knelt on a lift, fixing a broken light strip. He wore plain gray coveralls dotted with tiny burns from welding sparks. His tool belt rattled every time he moved, yet his hands stayed steady. Leo liked machines because they spoke only truth. Wires either carried power or they did not. Bolts either held firm or they fell. People were harder to understand, especially the graceful alien envoy now entering the main hall. Her name was Alia of the Eliari Chorus. She moved as if dancing, to music only she could hear. Her skin was a smooth shade of pale blue with a hint of violet at the cheeks. Two small elf-like ears curved gently toward the back of her head, catching every sound. A flowing silver robe shimmered around her feet. Leo had never spoken to her, yet he had watched her greet traders with kindness and comfort a lost child from another star. The corridor was nearly empty because most delegates had walked to the reception hall. Only a few cleaning drones and 2 security officers remained. Leo climbed down from the lift and wiped sweat from his brow. He glanced toward the wide window where Alia stood alone, looking at Earth far below. In that moment, the lights caught the curve of her smile, and words escaped before he could stop them. "I wish I could marry her," he whispered under his breath. The sentence came out like a secret prayer, so quiet he could barely hear it himself. He believed no one else could hear it either. The hallway seemed empty, and the local translation field was turned off. But Alia's ears were sharper than any sensor. She heard the tiny ripple of air that carried his wish, and she turned. Her violet eyes met Leo's startled brown ones. For a long heartbeat, neither of them moved. The station's fans hissed. Distant music drifted from the reception. Leo's wrench slipped from his fingers and clanged on the floor. Alia walked toward him, each step light as a snowflake. She stopped an arm's length away, folded her hands, and tilted her head. "Your voice is honest," she said in clear, melodic English. "Among my people a spoken wish is the seed of a promise. Will you claim those words or let them drift away?" Leo's mouth opened, but no sound came. He felt heat rise to his cheeks. At last he managed a shaky laugh. I'm only a mechanic," he said. "You're an envoy of a whole star nation. My words were foolish." Alia's smile deepened, warm and bright. "The stars are wide, but a heart is wider," she replied. "Do you truly wish to marry me, Leo Turner of Earth?" Behind them, the 2 security officers raised their brows. One tapped a cum badge, likely reporting the scene to the command deck. Leo swallowed. Yet he thought of every time he had admired Alia's kindness during long shifts among cold metal. "Yes," he said, voice firm now. "I do." Alia took a single breath. Then, with gentle dignity, she spoke words that would echo across 2 worlds. "Then my answer is yes." Overhead lights flickered to full strength as if applauding. A cleaning drone beeped and wheeled around them. Down the corridor, a group of reporters arrived early, their holocoms already recording. Gasps and excited murmurs filled the air. The news moved faster than light across internal channels. Technicians peeked from open hatches, curious tourists craned their necks, and even a hulking 4-armed cargo pilot paused beside his freight sled. Rumor said no human Aliari pair had ever even dated, let alone spoken of marriage. Earth's civil code held no section for such a vow, and Aliari song laws mentioned only distant legend. Everyone sensed history unfolding in the empty passage, where a single honest whisper had changed 2 lives, and perhaps the future of 2 civilizations. Leo felt his life twist in a single heartbeat, but he did not look away from Alia. "What happens now?" he asked. She extended her hand. "Now we honor the promise your whisper began," she said. "Together." As Leo took her hand, cameras flashed like small stars, and the quiet hallway became the focus of the entire station. In the control center, leaders on both sides stared at the live feed. A human and an Aliari had just made the boldest vow ever. spoken between their peoples, and nothing would ever be the same again. The moment Alia's simple answer echoed through the corridor, the trade station's calm vanished. Security doors slid shut, red lights blinked, and a dozen languages overlapped on the public address system as officials tried to understand what had just happened. A soft wish, heard by chance, had turned into a promise strong enough to shake two governments. Station Commander Idris, a short, silver-bearded man who loved tidy schedules, hurried toward the scene with a cluster of aides. Behind him came Alayari mediator Sora, tall and solemn in layered robes. Both leaders nodded politely to each other, then stared at Leo and Alia as if the pair were experimental engines about to explode. "Congratulations," I think Idris said, clearing his throat. "But this is highly irregular. Human law has no section about marriage with Alayari citizens, and station rules forbid sudden diplomatic commitments without paperwork." Sora's three-fingered hands folded. Alayari song law says a spoken vow is binding only if it survives public testing. Our ancestors created the unity trials to protect honest love and stop reckless words. If these two wish to stand together, they must complete the trials and earn the chorus's blessing. Leo squeezed Alia's hand. "Trials? Can you explain?" Alia nodded, her violet eyes steady. "There are three. The first tests our minds whether we understand each other's memories. The second tests our courage in danger. The last measures our faith before both peoples. If we pass, no council can break our pledge." Commander Idris opened a tablet. "And if you fail?" "Then the vow fades," Alia said softly, "and the chorus sings of our error for a generation. It is no small shame." Reporters flocked closer, lights bright on their camera rigs. Leo felt sweat trickle down his neck. He was just a mechanic who liked quiet engines and late-night tea. Now the entire void seemed to watch his every breath. Before he could answer, a sharp voice sliced through the crowd. "This cannot be allowed." The speaker was Vec Arlen, deputy envoy from the Uthene Pact, an ally of neither Earth nor Alayari space. Vec's dark uniform gleamed, and a polished crest showed a hawk clutching a broken chain. Many rumors said he hoped to gain influence by blocking any human Alayari treaty. Vec stepped forward, eyes cold. "A union between these species will upset delicate agreements. The Uthene Pact protests in the strongest terms." Commander Idris held up a hand. "Deputy Arlen, your protest is noted, but this is an internal matter for Earth and the Alayari." Chorus. "Internal?" Vec's smile looked like a blade. "The station is shared territory. If their trials fail, who cleans the mess?" Sora's calm voice answered, "Fear not. The trials are ancient and controlled. Danger comes only from the hearts of those who interfere." Vec's gaze flicked to Leo. A simple mechanic seeks to vault above his station. Ambition often trips the unprepared. Leo felt anger rise, but Alia touched his arm, a gentle reminder to keep composure. "We do not seek power," she said. "We seek truth." Reporters captured every word. News streams on Earth buzzed, "Alien envoy accepts spontaneous human proposal." Social feeds on Alia spun with songlifts of surprise and delight. Some cheered the bold romance. Others warned of cultural disaster. That evening, Leo sat in a quiet briefing room with Commander Idris, legal advisors, and a hololink to Earth's Interstellar Relations Board. Alia sat across from him beside Sora. Her presence a steady star in his nervous sky. A lawyer explained next steps. The station recognizes unique customs. Therefore, the trials will begin at dawn cycle. Part 1. The maze of memories occurs in the neural simulation wing. You'll enter linked dream space, guided by AI monitors. Staff will intervene if stress grows too high. Leo nodded slowly. "I'll be ready." A mechanic's toolbox lay at his feet, but he felt it contained the wrong tools for the task ahead. He wondered what memory might embarrass him, the lonely birthday after his parents shipped out on a mining run, the night he failed a class and cried in the engine bay. Alia would see everything raw. Across the table, Alia spoke. "I, too, carry burdens. No memory is perfect. Yet shared scars become bridges." Commander Idris ended the meeting with a soft Sigh. Very well, sleep, both of you. Tomorrow the entire station will watch, and I suspect half the galaxy. On the way back to crew quarters, Leo and Alia passed a window overlooking cargo docks. Huge freighters drifted like mountains. Between them, a sleek patrol craft idled, its hull marked with the Athene hawk. Vex stood beneath it, speaking to shadowed figures. Alia's sensitive ears caught fragments. Accident, fear, delay the second trial. She frowned. Trouble? Leo asked. Deputy Arlen plots. He thinks our bond threatens his. Power, Alia whispered. We must stay alert. Leo managed a grin. Good thing I fix surprises for a living. They reached Leo's tiny cabin, bare metal walls, one narrow bunk and shelves packed with spare parts. Alia looked around with curiosity rather than disdain. She traced a finger along a model star engine he had built in training. Your world builds beauty from steel, she said, and your people sing beauty into light, he answered. Maybe. Together we make something stronger. A soft chime announced curfew. Alia headed for the guest wing but paused at the door. Rest well, in the dream maze, do not fear what you show me. Truth only hurts when hidden. Leo's heart steadied. See you in the morning. The door shut. Alone, he glanced at Earth, glittering below. He had whispered one sentence, and now tomorrow he must walk through his own memories while strangers judged his worth. Yet somewhere inside the worry burned a spark of hope, bright, stubborn, undeniably human. Far across the station, Vec Arlen sent an encrypted message. Phase 1 ready. Leak false data into the maze feed. Make them question each other. A cold smile crossed his face as the reply flashed. Green. Morning would bring the first Unity trial, but also unseen danger. Whether love or sabotage prevailed would depend on two hearts standing side by side in the deepest corners of their minds. Morning arrived in a soft silver dawn cycle. Inside the neural simulation wing, a maze of memories waited under layers of safety fields. Bright white walls held rings of projectors and soft humming servers. Commander Idris and Mediator Sora stood beside medical teams, ready to watch every heartbeat. Small crowds gathered behind glass while news drones floated above like curious birds. Leo Turner sat in a cushioned chair. Thin cables touched his temples and wrists, feeling cool against his skin. On the next chair, Alia of the Aliari Chorus sat with the same calm grace she showed the night before. A technician checked their vitals, then gave a gentle sign. Remember, Idris said through a speaker, the simulation copies real memories. Face them, share them, and walk through together. Speak if you need help. We will pull you out if stress is too high. Leo answered with a nod. Alia reached across the small distance and held his hand. Her touch was light, but the warmth in her eyes was strong. A tone sounded. The lights dimmed. The world dissolved like mist, and the maze began. First memory. Leo's old workshop. Leo found himself standing on an Earth spaceport floor from 6 years ago. Dusty sunlight poured through a cracked skylight. Young Leo, thinner and worried, knelt beside a stalled shuttle engine. Grease covered his arms. Voices in the past echoed. You failed inspection again, a supervisor said harshly. Maybe mechanics is not your path. The younger Leo's shoulders slumped. Inside the maze, present Leo felt old shame. He turned, afraid Alia would judge him. Yet Alia moved closer and touched the holographic memory of the engine. This moment shaped your skill, she whispered. You fixed that shuttle later, yes? Yes, Leo said. The maze shimmered, showing the engine roaring to life after hours of hard work. The scene brightened and doors opened to the next path. Second memory, Alia's storm night. A swirl of violet fog lifted them onto a cliff on Alia's home moon. Wind howled. Young Alia clutched a small song crystal as lightning forked across dark clouds. Her mentor, Elder Lyran, toppled after a gust. Alia and the maze hurried forward, trying to reach the falling elder, but the storm froze like painted ice. She closed her eyes. I could not save him, she said softly. Leo stepped beside her. You carried his teachings, he said. Your kindness today is part of him. The storm faded to gentle rain. A quiet melody rose from the crystal, guiding them onward. Sabotage. False memory of betrayal. Bright corridors warped into a dark storage bay neither of them remembered. The holoscreen flickered, showing Leo selling engine schematics to black market buyers. Another screen showed Alia accepting bribes from rival diplomats. The images felt real, filled with sound and smell, designed to plant doubt. Leo's throat tightened. I never did that. Alia's eyes narrowed. Nor did I. She listened. Something in the audio hiss did not match true Aliori speech patterns. She pressed her palm to the screen. Corrupted data, she declared. Someone spliced these scenes. The walls trembled. Error symbols flashed overhead. Hidden speakers poured mocking words, urging them to blame one another. But Leo remembered Alia's promise. Shared scars become bridges. He reached out. She met his hand. Together they spoke. Simple truth. These memories are not ours. Their linked heart rates remained steady. The maze AI, seeing their trust, ran a correction pulse. False images cracked like glass and vanished. In the control room, Commander Idris frowned at. Sudden code spikes. He told engineers to trace the tampering. Somewhere on the station, Vec Arlen cursed under his breath. Deepest memory, Leo's childhood starfield. Now the maze placed both inside an open grassy field at night on Earth. 8-year-old Leo lay on a blanket, pointing to constellations while his mother explained star names. Her voice was gentle, almost musical, but at the edge of the scene, a shuttle engine roared his parents' departure on a long mining contract. Little Leo waved bravely, though a tear slid down his cheek when the craft shrank into sky. Present Leo knelt beside his younger self, feeling the old ache of being left behind. He whispered, "You grew strong, remember?" Alia knelt too, sharing the sadness. She opened her hand, and the small song crystal from her own past glowed softly. She sang a quiet comfort note, just one rising tone, like distant dawn. The younger Leo calmed. Grass turned to shimmering pathways. A door of light appeared. Exit. Exiting, the maze sensors detached. Real walls returned. Dr. Sheeran checked their pulses and smiled. Stress levels were low, connection level high. On a large screen, green letters spelled, Unity, Trial 1, passed. Reporters erupted in. Cheers. Some humans wiped tears. Aliari observers hummed approval notes. Commander Idris spoke into the public channel. By impartial measure, Leo Turner and Alia of the Chorus have displayed empathy, honesty, and shared resilience. They passed the trial of mind, mediator Sora added. Songlaw records this result. 2 trials remain. Aftermath. In the quiet lounge, Leo and Alia sat together, sipping sweet electrolyte tea. Exhaustion drifted away, replaced by gentle relief. Leo said, "Thank you for trusting me when the false images came." Alia's smile held a playful spark. "Thank you for believing my storm could calm." Technicians nearby whispered about the sabotage. Station security traced the false data to a hidden relay in Cargo Bay 6 and area under Athene management. Evidence was not yet public, but tension rose like static. Alia placed her cup down. "We knew someone would try to break our bond." She said, "Now we see how far they will go." Leo nodded. "The next trial is courage on that shifting gravity moon. If they interfere there, lives could be at risk." Alia reached for his hand again. "Then we plan, we watch, and we walk forward as one." Outside the lounge window, the distant moon named Twara spun in gentle orbit. Its surface gleamed with silver ridges and pale forests. Tomorrow it would host the trial of courage. 2. Lovers, once strangers, now partners, would face wild, terrain and unseen enemies together. And across the station, Vec Arlen prepared his next move. Unaware that each failed scheme only strengthened the trust he sought to break, the stage was set. Courage would soon be tested under alien skies where gravity played tricks and where honest hearts could still outshine any shadow. A new dawn painted the trade station windows pale gold as shuttles prepared for Twara. The silver-blue moon chosen for the second Unity trial, Commander Idris, watched carefully while medical staff fitted smart suits onto Leo and Alia. The suits were light, flexible, and carried small thrusters in the belt needed because Twara's gravity rose and fell like ocean waves, strong on some ridges, almost absent in deep valleys. Security officers searched every crate twice. Yesterday's sabotage had everyone tense. Still, Leo felt steady. The maze of memories had shown that he and Alia could stand against lies. Now they would face shifting ground and living danger challenges he could touch and measure. Alia checked Leo's wrist display and adjusted the pressure seal. "Trust your balance jets," she said. "They answer quick commands but never fight the gravity surge, ride it." Leo grinned. Ride the wave, fix the engine, simple enough. Mediator Sora stood beside the open shuttle ramp. "Remember," she told them, "you must reach the trial beacon atop Horizon Ridge together and activate it. Do not harm Tauras. Wildlife unless no other choice exists. Your courage will be judged by skill, care, and unity." Across the hangar, Vec Arlen watched through narrowed eyes. His contact had hidden small pulse grenades along the ridge trail devices that could stun or break bones in low gravity. He sent one last coded ping, "Leave no trace, but stop them." Descent to the moon, the shuttle swooped over sparkling forests and glacier-bright canyons. From the window, Leo saw geysers vent thin plumes of vapor, Taura breathed like a sleeping giant. When the craft landed on a flat, silver dust plain, auto-ramps unfolded. Gravity here was light. Every step felt springy. Leo and Alia tested small hops, then set off toward the jagged slope that began the climb to Horizon Ridge. Tiny sensors in their boots, red ground pull and flashed blue for stable zones, yellow for weak spots, red for sudden drops. At first, the trail wound through crystal ferns that chimed in the breeze. Alia paused to hum a single note, matching the fern's tone. The plants bent aside as if greeting her. Leo laughed. "Even alien plants like you're singing. Music carries meaning everywhere," she replied. First challenge, low G chasm, soon the path ended at a wide crack in the ground. On Taura's maps it was nicknamed Quiet Gap, because gravity inside dropped close to 0-1 misstep and a climber might float for hours. Metal hooks lined the rim for safe crossings, but half were melted, a sabotage clearly recent. Leo knelt, examining slag. "Plasma burn, maybe 2 hours old," he said through suit combs. "Someone wanted us to fall." Alia's eyes sharpened. "We leap together. Set thrusters to 10% and steer toward the far hooks." They counted down. 3, 2, 1. A gentle burst lifted them across the chasm like feathers on wind. Mid-flight, a hidden pulse grenade flashed hump, sending a blast of air that pushed them offline. Leo rolled, angling his thrusters to counter the blow. Alia sang a rising chord. Suit software heard and fired her jets in harmony. They landed. Hard but upright on the far ledge. Sensors beeped amber for strain, then steadied. "Saboteur confirmed," Leo muttered. He pocketed the cracked grenade shell as evidence. Second challenge, gravity surge slope past Quiet Gap. Gravity grew. Heavy in waves. Each 10 steps a pulse pushed them down, muscles trembling. Horizon Ridge loomed above, glittering in sunlight. Leo's engineering mind kicked in. He counted the seconds between surges. "Patterns regular a second heavy, 12-second light," he said. "When the pull eases, we sprint." They timed their dash. "Wait. Go." Feet flew over shining stones. Heavy wave stop, brace on knees, again and again. Halfway up, another pulse device detonated, trying to throw their rhythm. But Alia shifted to a different tempo, singing beats into Leo's come. Together they reset the count and climbed on. Sweat coated Leo's brow despite the cool suit. He glanced at Alia, who met his eyes with quiet fire. "No fear, only will." The ridge crest was now close. Ambush of the mooncats near the top, thin pines with silver needles marked the border of mooncat territory. These four-legged hunters could leap twice their length in low G and were fiercely territorial. Regulations warned travelers to carry sonic deterrents. Leo patted his belt. Someone had removed his device. Brush rustled. 3 mooncats crept out, sleek bodice striped blue and white. Their eyes glowed curious gold. Alia raised her empty hands. "We mean no harm?" She spoke in calm tones, then sang 2 soft notes patterned like the crystal ferns. The cats twitched. Ears uncertain. From behind a rock, a fourth cat lunged, spooked by a tiny electric prod left on the trail as sabotage. Leo instinctively stepped in front of Alia. The cat slammed into his suit. Claws scraped, but the armor held. Leo stayed. Still, heart racing. Alia pulled the prod free and flung it aside, then knelt low, humming a gentle lullaby used by Aliari shepherds. The cat hissed, but the song's vibration eased its panic. Slowly it backed away, the others followed, shadows melting into trees. Leo let out a long breath. Your voice saved us again. Our courage saved each other, Alia corrected, tapping his chest plate. A strong heart beats louder than fear. Reaching the beacon, a final staircase of natural stone led to the slim metal pillar that was the trial beacon. Sensors. Word as Leo opened the maintenance panel. Power cell stable, he reported. Just need manual activation by both candidates. They placed hands on twin plates. A soft chime rose, echoing across the ridge. Lights climbed the pillar. Like sunrise. Cameras from orbit recorded the moment. Viewers on Earth and Aliari homeworld cheered. Commander Idris's voice crackled in their headsets. Unity Trial 2 passed with highest courage score. Return shuttle en route. Alia squeezed Leo's glove. 2 trials done. 1 more. But Leo's eyes drifted to the broken hooks, melted supports, and discarded prod. Sabotage grows bolder. The final trial is public. Anyone could strike. Alia faced the wind, silver hair fluttering. Then we stand taller. Courage is not. Lack of danger, it is walking anyway. Shadows and victory as they began descent. Vec Arlen received the beacon pass alert. He crushed a stylus in rage. Plan B would need to happen during the public council speech, the moment they were most exposed. Meanwhile, station security teams traced melted metal residue to a stolen engineering torch signed out under a false name. A silent alarm pinged Commander Idris, and he ordered covert watchers around the debate hall. High above Twara, fireworks. Of data-lit social networks, human Aliari pair defies sabotage, wins courage trial. Hope spread faster than doubt. Yet in hidden channels, darker schemes moved. The shuttle lifted off the moon, carrying Leo and Alia back toward the final test where words, not landscapes, would decide their fate. But now they carried proof of sabotage and something stronger still, the unshakable bond formed by sharing danger side by side. Grand Harmony Hall glowed under steady white lamps. 2 banners, Earth's blue-green globe and the Aliari silver spiral, hung side by side before a packed audience of diplomats, pilots, and students. Behind the curtain, Leo Turner steadied his breath. In his jacket pocket lay the cracked pulse grenade shell, proof that someone had tried to hurt him, and Alia of the chorus, placed a calm hand on his shoulder. Truth is louder than fear, she whispered. Mediator Sora announced. They walked to clear crystal lecterns as cautious applause rippled through the hall. Leo speaks. Counselor Diaz asked first, why trust a love born only 3 days ago? Leo answered plainly. First steps always look sudden: fire, flight, the moon. Humanity moves by daring. When I saw Alia comfort a lost visitor, I knew. I had found the partner my spirit searched for. He held up the grenade shell. But bridges need guards. Someone placed this device on Twara to stop us. I asked the council to trace it. Security drones carried the fragment to the judges. Leo paused, feeling thousands of eyes. I am a mechanic, he added. Machines teach. 2 metals welded well are stronger together. People can be the same. His plain words drew nods. From ground crew workers in the upper tiers. Alia Singh's elder Valley of the chorus asked, will our song law fade if you wed a human? Alia replied with music, first 3 clear notes that filled the air with gentle light. A chorus grows. When new voices join, close every door and the song withers. She showed a hybrid seed, half earth wheat, half Aliari vine. Life itself blends. She planted it in mixed soil, placed the pot on the edge of the stage, and set a lamp above it. Alia lifted the pot for all to see. This seedling will sprout in hours because it receives gifts from both worlds, ion from earth soil, light, salts from Aliari dust, Together they overflow with life. Challenges Deputy Vec Arlen Rose. Emotion is not law. Who settles disputes inside such a marriage? Mediator Sora cited Article 7C of the Interstellar Cultural Accord. Hybrid households may adopt combined rights overseen by neutral panels. Screens showed the dusty clause. Vec, scowling, Sut. More questions followed: property, language, schooling. Leo replied, "Where customs clash, we will talk, repair, and move forward as any family does. Fear says difference is danger. Hope says difference is power." Remote screens displayed watch parties, miners on Ceres, singers in Alyari Cloud. Gardens, children in Earth orbit schools holding signs "Let Love Win," voting icons lit the main display. Greens, reds, yellows danced until the count froze. A tie. A child's gift, a side door slid open. An Alyari child in scout sash entered, guided by a teacher but walking alone by choice. The child carried the pot Alia had planted. In minutes, the seed had grown a thin stem topped by a blue and gold bud. The child's small voice, softly amplified, echoed across marble walls. Both soils made it grow. Let their promise grow too. Silence held the room. Elder Valley stood, bells on her sleeves chiming and pressed green. One abstained, flipped to approval. The tally moved, cheers rose. Many present joined a simple welcome hymn that spread like sunrise. Decree the clerk read, "By joint decree of Earthsphere and Alyari Chorus, the vow stands confirmed. Rights of family, travel, and shared residence are hereby granted to Leo Turner and Alia of the Chorus." Cameras flashed as the two clasped hands. Petals of light drifted from ceiling projectors. Gathering clouds during the celebration, Commander. Idris received a silent alert on his wristpad. Unauthorized. Entry Engineering Core tool logs had linked the grenade shell to Deputy Arlen. Now, sensors placed him near the prototype warp coil scheduled for display at tomorrow's public wedding. Security Chief Dana dispatched teams, but victory crowds clogged passageways. Deep below deck, Arlen removed safety locks from the glowing coil. One overload could cripple the station and cast blame on human error. He attached a slim pulse inducer and started a silent timer. New danger above. Leo and Alia paused on a balcony, waving to cheering guests. "It feels like standing on a mountain," Leo said. "Then let us guard the mountain well," Alia replied, her smile bright. Neither saw the red icons flashing on hidden screens or the guards racing through metal corridors. The Unity trials were won, but their hardest test was only minutes away. Her breath crackled through the link. Unknown intruder inside the warp coil chamber. Automatic locks were cut. Where 3 passages away crowds are blocking the fast route. Racing through celebration on the upper deck, Leo Turner finished. A holo interview with student reporters. Alia of the Chorus stood beside him, answering gentle questions about shared customs. Bright lanterns swayed overhead. Music drifted from open plazas. Sudden static hissed in Leo's earbud. The private engineer channel. Coil heat rising. Sabotage, possible detonation. His smile vanished. He faced Alia. "The warp coil is in danger. If it blows, the station could tear apart." Alia's eyes widened, then steadied. "Show me the fastest path." They broke away from the press circle. Shouts of "what happened" followed, but Leo kept moving. He knew side tunnels that skipped busy halls, maintenance shafts barely wider than their shoulders. Alia kept pace, her silver robe tucked tight, feet sure on graded steps. Into the quiet tube's thin white lights hummed as they climbed a ladder down 6 decks. Gravity felt heavier in the industrial zone. Thrumming pumps pushed coolant through. Pipes. Halfway, Leo pressed a hand to a vent. "Warm air, too warm. The coil room is below us." He checked a wall screen, temperature climbing toward the red line. Alia listened, her sensitive ears catching a faint rising whine. "That is the field containment alarm," she said. "When it reaches critical pitch, the core vents into space. Venting would save the station, but the blast doors around the chamber would first seal, trapping anyone inside." They hurried on, facing the saboteur. The service hatch to the coil room stood open. Blue sparks showered from a severed lock. Inside, Deputy Vec Arlen knelt at a glowing control panel. He held a slim pulse inducer wired to the main coolant valve. One press would force the coil to overload and then fail violently. Hearing footsteps, Vec spun around, eyes sharp. Too late. Leave now if you value your lives? Leo stepped forward, voice calm but firm. This station carries 40,000 guests, deputy. Shut it down, Vec sneered. When fear spreads, my council will demand new safety rules I will write. Your marriage is only a spark I can stamp out. Alia spoke, her tone like cold water. You tried lies and claws, and now fire. Each time we stood taller, she touched her cum badge. Control, I need coil schematic overlay. A hologrid appeared in her lens, marking vent lines. Vec thumbed the inducer. Warning sirens wailed. The coolant valve began to close. Temperature. Surged out a plan in seconds. Leo scanned the room. Above them, emergency pipes led to an inspection port still open. If he could vent coolant manually into that loop, the coil would chill long enough for safety locks to re-engage. Alia, I need 60 seconds. He whispered. She nodded once, stepped toward Vec, and raised her hands peacefully. You fear change, deputy, but change has already won. Her voice slipped into an Aliari negotiation melody slow, even notes that held attention. Vec hesitated. Curious despite himself, climbing the frame, Leo scrambled up the side ladder, tools clanging. Heat pressed against his suit. He reached the port, yanked off a cover plate, and twisted 2 coolant taps with his wrench. Green fluid hissed through the bypass dot below. The coil's glow faded from white-hot to dull orange. Control consoles flashed cooler numbers. Automatic systems caught the shift and began to reopen primary vents. Vec heard the change and snarled. He lunged past Alia toward the main board, but she moved gracefully, catching his wrist in a firm lock taught to Aliari envoys. Enough, she said. He fought, but Leo dropped from the ladder, blocking the exit. Together they held him until Chief Dana's team arrived. Stun cuffs ready, containing the crisis fire suppression mist cooled the chamber. Engineers in silver suits swarmed over panels, resetting safeties. Commander Idris called from the doorway, voice deep with relief. Core stable. Good work, both of you. 2 officers led Vec away. He glared back. You think a human and an Aliari can fix every brake line in the galaxy? One day the difference will break you. Leo answered quietly. Maybe, but today we held. Alia faced the commander. Sabotage evidence links Arlen to earlier attacks. I request open record so every council hears the truth. Idris nodded, already streaming. Quiet moment amid steam-cooling fans hummed, thin mist curled around the couple. Leo's hands shook now that danger had passed. Alia placed her palm over his. Your courage turned numbers and pipes into life, she said, and your voice kept him still. Leo replied. They stood a moment in the soft spray, hearts slowing. Somewhere overhead, happy cheers began as the news spread. Disaster averted by the very pair whose vow had started all this excitement, praise from 2 worlds hours later. In the command auditorium, Earth's acting ambassador addressed millions via holofeed. Today a mechanic and an envoy saved this station. Their unity shows the best of both species. Let us honor them. Elder Valey of the chorus added, their bond overcame fear. The old songs will remember this day. Digital. Fireworks painted the screens bright blues and silvers intertwining. Messages of gratitude flowed in dozens of languages. Preparing for the final step late that night, Leo and Alia returned to the observation deck where their story began. Earth turned slowly below. Silence felt gentle at last. Leo whispered, 1. Trial left the wedding itself. After today, I believe nothing can stop us. Alia smiled, eyes reflecting starlight. Love is not a trial, Leo. It is the home we carry forward. Hand in hand, they watched dawn creep over Earth's horizon, unaware that the next sunrise would crown their union before the eyes of 2 civilizations and start a new chapter among the stars. Morning arrived like a slow sunrise rolling across Earth's blue curve. In the great circular atrium of the orbital trade station, workers had replaced every damaged panel during the night. Fresh white banners rippled beside long ribbons of silver. Lines of tiny guide lights marked a path from the main lift to a raised balcony where the final Unity ceremony would take place. Beyond the crystal windows, short-range patrol ships formed a protective, ring-quiet proof that no more sabotage would disturb the day. Leo Turner woke early in his tiny cabin. The familiar scent of metal polish mixed with something new, floral steam drifting from a small gift box. Alia of the chorus had left the box outside his door. Inside lay a single blue and gold blossom, the hybrid flower that had sprouted during yesterday's council vote. A thin cord looped through its stem so he could wear it like a medal. Leo smiled, pinned it to his jacket, and whispered, "Let's finish what one whisper began." Alia prepared in the diplomatic suite across the station. Instead of her usual travel robe, she wore a soft suit of pale teal, stitched with slender threads of reflective crystal. The color changed gently when she moved, catching starlight in quiet waves. Elder Valey brushed Alia's hair back from her small elf-like ears and placed a circlet of polished silver above her brow. "Your voice opened a new chapter," the elder whispered. "Today, sing only from your heart." Alia felt no doubt. The bond she and Leo had forged was stronger than any fear. At 900 hours station time, chimes rang 3 slow tones, the signal that all guests should gather. The atrium filled with humans in formal navy blues and Aliari in flowing silvers. Engineers crowded next to singers, cargo pilots beside scholars, children sat on shoulders so they could see. Even the maintenance drones queued along the upper rail, lenses blinking like curious eyes. High overhead, giant holoscreens projected the scene to Earth, the Aliari homeworld, and dozens of deep space colonies. Commander Idris stepped onto the balcony first. He cleared his voice, but when he spoke it sounded less like an order and more like proud relief. "Citizens of 2 worlds, welcome. The Unity trials are complete. Sabotage failed, cooperation triumphed. Today we witness a vow freely chosen and freely honored." He gestured, and Leo emerged from the lift to warm applause. Alia followed from the opposite side, her steps light, every movement sparking cheers and gentle Aliari hums of joy. Mediator Sora began the ceremony. "Aliari custom joins promise and melody," she said, her calm voice amplified for every corner. "Human custom binds hearts with spoken vows. Today we weave both." She asked the couple to stand facing each other beneath a small arch formed from intertwined metal and crystal, forged during the night by human welders and Aliari lightshapers working side by side. Leo spoke first, words simple and true. "Alia, I once whispered a wish into an empty hallway, never knowing it would change the stars around me. You heard, and you answered. You walked through my memories, climbed a moon at my side, and stood calm in fire and storm. I promise to keep listening to your voice, your fears, your laughter every day we share." He placed his hand on his heart, then reached forward. The audience stayed so quiet that even the gentle hum of life support fans felt loud. Alia lifted her crystal-bound hand and laid it over Leo's. She sang 3 rising notes that echoed softly in every ear. Then she translated the words, "Leo, your courage turned danger into safety, broken metal into living hope. My people teach that where 2 melodies blend, a new harmony grows. I promise to guard that harmony with patience and with faith, no matter how far our journey takes us." Her voice trembled only once, and it was with joy. A pair of small drones drifted closer, carrying silver loop rings, one forged from recycled station steel, the other from polished Aliari moonglass. Leo took the steel ring and slid it onto Alia's slender finger. It glinted like a tiny star against her pale blue skin. She slid the glass ring onto his finger, where light refracted into soft rainbow specks. Sora raised her staff. "By decree of Earthsphere and the Aliari Chorus, and by the witness of all gathered minds, I seal this union. Let the stars themselves remember this hour." Instantly, shutters opened in the atrium ceiling, revealing space like a limitless black ocean. Outside, the waiting patrol ships fired harmless bursts of colored plasma, earth green Aliari silver. The bursts expanded into luminous flowers fireworks that needed no sound, only light. Children gasped, elders wiped tears. Holofeeds erupted with celebration emotes. For a heartbeat, two civilizations felt like one family staring up at a shared sky. Commander Idris invited the couple to speak one last time. Leo turned so everyone could see his smile. "Thank you for trusting two ordinary hearts," he said. "Today proves humans and Aliari can dream bigger together." Alia added, "Now let those dreams fly." She pointed through the window, where a sleek, deep survey vessel drifted into view. The Unity Voyager. Its hull bore symbols of both peoples. Diplomatic leaders had already signed a charter naming Leo and Alia honorary mission guides for the ship's maiden exploration beyond mapped territory. Cheers doubled at the sight. Crew members of the Unity Voyager saluted from the observation deck, hands over hearts or lifted in Aliari spiral greetings. As light from a distant sun hit the station, sparks danced on every surface, and the hybrid flower on Leo's jacket slowly opened, blue petals edged with gold, a living emblem of everything achieved. While musicians played a gentle fusion of earth strings and Aliari crystal chimes, guests formed a long line to offer congratulations. Maintenance crews who once teased the quiet mechanic now slapped his shoulder with pride. Aliari singers pressed their palms to Alia's in respectful chorus touch. Even Chief Dana found a moment to whisper, "Thanks for saving my station, newlyweds." Far away, Vec Arlen watched the broadcast from a secure brig cell. For the first time he realized the real power in the galaxy was not fear, but the stubborn hope blazing in two connected hearts. His plans lay broken, but the new alliance had only just begun to rise. That night, long after speeches and dancing turned to quiet conversation, Leo and Alia slipped away to the same window where their story had started. Earth rotated below like a sleeping jewel. Starlight painted faint halos around their joined hands. "Adventure waits out there," Leo murmured. Alia answered, "So does our home wherever we decide to build it." Side by side they watched a single shuttle leave the docks, carrying supplies for the Unity Voyager's first jump. Its engines flared, a bright point drifting into the endless dark, proving once more that when hearts are brave together, no distance is truly impossible.